Hello, people who are not me, and welcome back to Let's Play Secret of Mana. I am Sire Goku. In the last video, I started the Pure Land, and I actually found a Griffin Helm, which is a rare item drop from one of the monsters. It is a really good weapon. It's a really good armor, and you should probably grind and get three of those, one for each character, but I mean, you get them from fighting these guys here. These Griffin Hands. But it is a rare drop, so don't be surprised if it's going to take you a few times to actually get it. They aren't required to beat the game or anything. It's not a required weapon. It's not a required armor upgrade. But it's a nice armor upgrade to have, I'd say. There was also the boss, the Great Viper, who is not too difficult, really. He can paralyze you, and that's about it. And my sword leveled up to 7. Fantastic. I didn't upgrade. Oh, and I also got an axe. I did get an axe orb from defeating that boss, but unless you want to call, you could call Flammy and run all the way back out and power up your weapons again, but personally I don't see a point to it right now, because it would just be I feel it would just be wasting time, kind of like I'm doing right now, just kind of fighting guys here. Maybe I just subconsciously want to get another Griffin Helm. It's a rare drop, and I want more of them, but you can't always get what you want, you know? Coming over here, you'll fight some ghosts. I don't think there's anything over... Actually, yeah, I don't think you can get any further in this particular location here. Yeah, you can't. You can fight those ghosts, but I would say it's a waste of magic. And you can level grind off of these guys. I mean, I'm already level 56. I'm probably over-leveled. These mushrooms are going to knock you unconscious. But yeah, I mean, you can fight those you can fight those Griffin Hands and try to get some more Griffin Helms. More power to you if you want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to continue on. This isn't going to be like that forest that changes seasons with each path to go through. It's just going to be one giant dungeon, which I'm okay with. It's much harder to get lost that way, in my opinion. Basically, all that's going to happen is with each new segment you go into, the enemies are going to be a little bit stronger. And you're also going to be fighting more bosses! This is the Snow Dragon, I believe. Yes. And if you don't use magic on these guys, they're gonna take forever. It's gonna be like every other dragon that like, dragons are really hard to hit, because they're technically they're considered in the air all the time. So really the only kinds of weapons that are gonna hit them are the javelin, the boomerang, and the bow and arrow. That and magic too. So my recommendation is, unless you want to spend like 10 minutes fighting this guy using ranged weapons, which you can do, it does make the battle a little bit harder. It doesn't really make it that much harder, it just makes it take longer. And I'm not really one to say that a battle is difficult just because it takes 10 minutes to do. I think that if the battle takes 10 minutes to do, that it's tedious. And tedium doesn't equal difficult to me at least. Maybe for some people, long drawn-out battles can be difficult. I don't think they are. And for the sake of my viewers, I don't want to make this battle take longer than it needs to, so I'm going to use magic. You could say that it makes the game too easy, and I can understand it. But I really don't want to spend this entire video just doing one boss battle. So that's my reasoning for using magic. This battle was 5 minutes. This battle was like 4 or 5 minutes as opposed to the 10 or 12 that it might have been if I had not been using magic. And I mean, we literally just got an orb, and now we're gonna get another one. So that's why I said don't bother leaving to power up your orbs until after this entire dungeon, because you're gonna you'll backtrack to power up the weapon just to come back and get another orb, and you're gonna want to go back again, and just wait until the dungeon's done. Make it easier on yourself. And it looks like I really was just really lucky to get that drop from the Griffin hand, because I haven't gotten a single drop again since. Continue on. Shall I save your game? No, thank you. So after defeating the white dragon, or the snow dragon, I believe, you just go back to the right, and you go through this gate, and you get warped to another part of the forest. And this is essentially what you're going to keep doing for this entire dungeon. It's not that bad. Well, now you're going to have to start fighting guys that use Lucid Barrier, which is going to make using magic as well as physical attacks a little more tedious, because you're going to have to break through the barriers, but it doesn't take that long. If you've leveled up your main weapons enough by this point, you'll take them out rather fast. I mean, just my regular attacks are doing over 100 damage, and they're not even doing charge attacks. These are the Nidlons that we fought on the train. I told you we weren't actually supposed to be fighting them until this dungeon. That's why when you run into them, it's a pain, because they can and probably will dominate you because you aren't prepared for it. But now that you actually have the weapon, or now that you actually have the upgraded armor, you can actually take more than one hit from them. And Lena's Javelin got to level 7. Hooray! Okay, she maxed out her Javelin. That's Fantastic. Okay, let's get her whip because she's almost leveled that up. Yeah, be careful about Earth Slide. You don't want to have to deal with that. Oh, yay! Lena's magic seal went up, and Undini's level 6. Mark reached level 57. Lena reached level 57. And I reached level 57, so I wasted heal, but... well, it's not really a waste. I leveled up Undine. That wasn't a waste at all. Now, I don't know what all the other drops are. I did know about the Griffin Helm being dropped. That's the only one that I knew about. I know about the drops in the final dungeon, but not the drops in this dungeon. So sorry about that. I don't know absolutely every little detail about this game, so... I just really like this game. That doesn't mean I know everything about it. Anyway, this is the go into this cave. This is where we need to go to progress further into the area. Once again, ghosts you cannot kill unless you're using magic, and I'm trying to preserve my magic as best as possible. And the whip reached level 5 because I haven't been using it for a while, so it's going to make leveling up. One good aspect about waiting to level up your weapons till much later is the stronger enemies give you much more weapon experience. So if you have neglected certain weapons, it doesn't take very long to level them up if you haven't been using them. So there's that. Because these guys are going to give you plenty of experience to go around. And these Needlers do cast Defender on themselves as well as using Earth magic, so it can be a little tricky. That can make these guys take a little longer than normal to beat, but it's not too bad. They were much worse on the train. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Please be something good. Yes, another Needle Helm. Sweet. Well, it's not as good. Well, it's not as good since I already bought them, but I mean, it's still nice to have. It's gonna net me some good money, that's for sure. Eggplant man. Damn it. Stop casting Lucid Barrier. There we go. It is a little unfortunate about the drop, but coming up here we get another boss. This is Axebeak, I think? Yes. He's a lot like the Springbeak, in that he's going to be using fire, and he's weak to ice. So let's get a... Now this boss, I can understand you wanting to use magic on, because he is really hard to hit. The hit detection on him is rather picky. You basically have to hit him directly in the head, otherwise it's not going to count. And because he is considered slightly above you all the time, it makes it next to impossible to hit him. So I, once again, have no shame in using magic. It's hard enough to hit this guy as it is, and I don't want to drag out these fights too terribly long. There we go. I mean, that is why there's these upper platforms here, but it's just... it's harder than it needs to be to actually physically hit this guy. Now, if you're thinking of using wall, don't, because since he is fire, it's not gonna do that much. In fact, I don't even know if it's gonna do anything. Also, Lava Wave's animation takes a little too long. Boom. Okay. But this is all he's gonna do. He's gonna hop around and occasionally cast a fire spell on you. It's not too hard. It is level 7, so don't take it too lightly, but if you've been getting the new armors once again, it shouldn't be doing that much to you. If it does anything over, if it is doing over 100, you're either a little under-leveled or you just are not using the armor. And these fights take a while. I mean, each of these corresponding videos is probably going to be about 20 minutes each, and not going to lie, about 5 or 10 minutes of each video is going to be these boss battles. That's how long they take. Assuming you don't just magic spam. Which is why I said, don't feel ashamed in using magic, because if you don't, these battles are just gonna drag on. And unless you care, unless you want a self-imposed challenge, like I said, feel free to do that. But for the sake of this for the sake of this playthrough, I'm going to do my best to make these videos as short as make these battles take as little amount of time as possible. But we got a Javelin's Orb. Not bad. Oh god, this defender is just gonna make these guys take forever to kill, isn't it? He just keeps casting that over and over again. You'd think he'd run out of magic at some point. Okay, now I have to switch weapons here. But as far as things go here, I think this is a good place to stop. We beat another boss. And we have a few more to go in this place, but we're roughly at the halfway point of this dungeon. Like I said, if you have been leveling up throughout this entire game, this place shouldn't be too difficult. Beat the dragon to the left of this forest to pass this gate. Save your game. Well, you can save your game if you want, but as for me, I'm gonna call this a video. Next time we will go on and face said dragon and continue through this forest.